Hello, my name is Jesus Garcia. I was born in Fort Morgan, Colorado, but I grew up in Hanford, California. My father and mother had two daughters and four sons, including myself. We all worked as farm workers, where we were poor but happy. I attended Hanford High School, where I excelled in sports. I was such a good athlete, in fact, that I was told by my coach that I was Olympic material. But the Olympics had to wait because I wanted to serve my country first. In 1966, I enlisted in the U.S. Army. I did my basic training in Fort Worth, California. I was such a natural at boot camp that I was told that as far as soldiers went, I was the cream of the crop. After boot camp, I was sent to Fort Polk, Louisiana, where I received what is called expert infantry training, where they trained me to be an expert in all types of light weapons. I was so good at what they taught me that I received additional training in medical combat training in Fort Sam Houston. And I went to Fort Benning, Georgia, where I went to jump school. By the end of the year, I was sent from Oakland, California, Travis Air Force Base to 90th Replacement in Long Binh in Vietnam. When I first arrived in Vietnam, what I remember the most was the heat and the look on the faces of the soldiers who had finished their tour. We could see from their faces that they've been through hell. During my first tour, I quickly learned how to survive because every day I saw how fast death could come. One incident stays in my mind to this day. In 1970, we were doing a recon mission in Suica Valley all the way to Alzi Pony. It was 30 of us in a platoon. I was on the point APC riding slack when I was told by Lieutenant Anstrom to switch positions from the point slack with my buddy Savine, who was riding slack in the tank behind me. Next thing I knew, the front APC, which I had been riding on 15 minutes before, was completely destroyed by the NVA ambush. We were outnumbered 20 to 1, but we fought back as long as we could. The battle lasted about 45 minutes, but it felt like days. My specialized medical training and my infantry training meant that not only was I supposed to save the lives of the wounded soldiers, but I was also supposed to fight back the enemy. When I realized we were surrounded and cut off from reinforcements, I decided to charge the kill zone up the middle, which meant that the enemy focused their fire on me. But it left an opening for the other APCs to come around and reinforce the platoon. I then told Lieutenant Anstrom to call in airstrikes to hold them back. When the airstrikes came in, the ground shook as the Phantom airplanes and Apache helicopters dropped napalm, rockets, and tear gas on the enemy. After the airstrike, I pulled out as many wounded soldiers as I could to a made-up fuel station in an open area. The medevac showed up, and I told the wounded soldiers, as soon as the chopper lands, you guys get out. I refused medevac because we were still fighting. I survived the battle with multiple fragmentation wounds to the face and the legs, but I was alive. After the battle, Lieutenant Anstrom and Sergeant Sloan came up to me and said, Doc Holliday, I am recommending you for the Medal of Honor. Unfortunately, it wasn't until 25 years later that I learned that my medal and actions on the battlefield that day were awarded to Staff Sergeant English, a soldier who unfortunately had lost his life when the first APC blew up. It was not that I was angry, but why did they have to lie to me? After my first tour, I volunteered for two more tours in 70 and 72, where I proudly continued to serve my country. I came out of the war highly decorated, receiving 5 Purple Hearts, Silver Stars, 3 Bronze Stars, and even the Vietnamese Cross of Gallantry and the Vietnamese Medal of Honor. After the war, I found it difficult to find a job. I am diagnosed with PTSD and have suffered from numerous physical disabilities due to combat. I used to volunteer for Presley Military Supplies here in Fresno, helping the owner Presley sell merchandise. One day I was asked by Presley to wear the DSC ribbon to help him sell. I was not awarded the medal, but I didn't think me wearing it would cause too much trouble. Unfortunately, I was photographed wearing the ribbon, and that photograph would be responsible for starting one of the most difficult times in my life. After the photo incident, a book had come out in 1998 called Stolen Valor, which claimed that all my medals and actions were bogus. Soon afterwards, my friends stopped calling me, and people started calling me a liar behind my back. Whenever I participated in the Veterans Day parades, it hurt so much that I even attempted suicide. In 2001, I filed a lawsuit against B.J. Burkett and Mungus for publishing that book, hoping to finally clear my name. Unfortunately, my attorneys who were in possession of my medals and records disappeared with all of my possessions. To this day, I am not looking to get any medals or ribbons. I just want to clear my name before I die. I just want some peace for me and my family.